We occupy a digital landscape optimized for isolation. The platforms we use every day function most profitably when we are separated from the people on the other side of our feeds. In this environment, empathy is often treated as a passive buzzword. The entertainment industry usually handles the concept with a similar lack of weight. The body swap is typically a comedic gimmick, a factory line trope used to deliver a tidy lesson before the credits roll. In 2026, Skydance Animation released a film called Swapped on Netflix. Critics largely reviewed it as a family adventure, missing the philosophy hiding inside its PG rating. The film poses a specific question: is it actually possible to achieve true empathy from a safe distance? Through its protagonist, Ollie, the movie suggests that empathy functions as a survival skill. It requires the loss of your comfort, your community, and eventually your identity. The story is set in the Valley, a lush ecosystem permanently fractured into isolated islands. A massive dam cuts off the central river, mirroring the generational terror that keeps the various species apart. The creatures follow an origin myth involving an entity called the Firewolf, who convinced the animal factions that total isolation is the only guarantee of safety. This creates a system of inherited fear. A historical incident becomes a generational myth, which then justifies a permanent border. It's an artificial tool of stability that keeps populations divided and controllable. Two factions, the Fuzzy Puku and the Avian Javans, have never interacted. Their entire survival strategy is based on maintaining absolute boundaries against one another. The Valley's divisions mirror modern societal silos. Stories of fear keep these populations compliant, preventing anyone from ever testing the boundary. The plot begins when curiosity and mutual misunderstanding force a Puku named Ollie and a Javan named Ivy into an ancient pod. This triggers an involuntary body swap. Michael B. Jordan voices Ollie. He strips away his usual on-screen intensity to project vulnerability from inside a foreign avian body with wings he cannot control. Juno Temple voices Ivy. She captures the sensory terror of a winged predator suddenly trapped in a small, hypersensitive prey body. Rather than just learning about each other, Ollie and Ivy are forced to physically experience the other's world within their own nervous systems. This illustrates the film's core argument: information cannot bridge a cultural divide. Understanding requires the physical embodiment of the other. To reverse the swap, Ollie and Ivy rely on Boogle, a gregarious fish who acts as their guide through the valley. Tracy Morgan voices Boogle with a loud comedic energy. He uses jokes and small, verifiable truths to rapidly gain the protagonist's trust. Boogle is the Firewolf. He has been trapped in a fish's body for generations, watching the creatures and waiting for a way to escape. He actively tends to Ollie and Ivy's arguments. He needs their conflict to remain unresolved, because that specific friction is the key to breaking his imprisonment. This dynamic parallels real-world algorithms and political forces. They profit exclusively from sustaining cultural friction. The danger comes from the invisible architects who actively tend to the fear keeping the borders intact. At the film's climax, Ollie is restored to his body. He chooses self-sacrifice over violence, tapping into ancient magic to confront the Firewolf. His actions destroy the Great Dam. The villain is washed away by the consequences of his own architecture. In the aftermath, the valley begins to heal. The physical barrier enforcing their separation has been erased, allowing the water and the creatures to move freely. The ancient guardian creatures, the Doza, return to the valley. They appear because Ollie and Ivy's individual acts of trust rebuilt the conditions for coexistence. Connection cost you your certainty. By surrendering an isolated identity, you don't just understand your enemy, you dismantle the architecture of fear that creates.